Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Xfinity Lounge, the PHLY Eagles post-game show presented by Bet365 and Ashley. Super Bowl champion Vinny Curry, Jamie Lynch. We'll hear from Fran Duffy. We'll hear from E.J. Smith at Cowboy Stadium. I'm Bo Wulf. After the Eagles just absolutely collapse after a 21-0 lead, give up 24 unanswered points. They commit a season-high 14 penalties. Very many dumb decisions being made, from Xavier Gipson fielding a punt at the 1-yard line to Saquon Barkley fumbling the ball away. Jalen Hurts taking a sack when he can't take a sack. We'll get to all of that. Let's go around the horn with our initial takeaways. Vinny Curry, you start.
I'm speechless. The first half, I'm all excited. AJ is balling. Our offense look great. At 24 unanswered points, like you said, 14 penalties, turning the ball over. I'm speechless. Jamie?
I'm just trying to decide who I'm most angry at. And it's between two people. It's between Xavier Gipson and Nick Sirianni. Xavier Gipson's is a much more obvious, bro, what the F are you doing fielding a punt on the 1-yard line? What are you doing? 2, Nick Sirianni, after the Eagles crawl out of a 1st and 25, they get them to 4th and 2 in Dallas territory with a chance to absolutely break the Cowboys' backs. Decides to try, a 58-yarder with Jake Elliott, who is not successful at a great rate from that distance. Go for it, you coward. You had a chance to end the game. So I'm deciding between which one I'm more angry at.
Well, listen, there is no doubt that you can point to coaching in this game for a lot of things. Now, the coaches are not the ones committing the penalties, but when you commit a season-high 14 penalties, you look at the coaches, right? And there is no doubt in this game, when the Eagles go up 21-0, they come out of from the first possession of the game with a really nice offensive game plan. Jalen Hurts looked really good today.
Yes, he did.
He looked really good today. A.J. Brown was involved in all of the ways that A.J. Brown has wanted to be involved, being used in different ways, catching the ball over the middle of the field, finishes with 8 catches for 110 yards and a touchdown. The passing game looked really good. And then they get up 21-0, and they lean into their worst tendencies, and they stop being aggressive, and they start running the ball, even though over the course of the game, this was their worst game by success rate when running the ball. They invite the Cowboys back into this game. There are times when they choose not to be aggressive. They get the ball with 17 seconds left in the first half and decide, okay, we'll go into halftime. You can accept that. That's fine.
Sure.
There's another time when they punt on 4th and short. They, as you say, go for the 56-yard field goal on 4th and short. And then I thought Petula called a pretty good game, but on 3rd and 2, after the 2-minute time, after the 2-minute warning, I want to kill Jalen for taking a sack there, because you can't take it. You absolutely cannot take a sack there. But they show the replay, and there is nobody even close to open. So that's a bad play call. And so there are games, no doubt, and we'll spin this like after we get our anger out, because I think there are games where the ball just bounces weird. And this was one of those games, and they got a bunch of guys injured. You know, we can talk about Sidney Brown, what he was doing in the secondary in this game. Michael Carter did not look necessarily ready to play. All of that stuff is true. Like, this is one of those games where a division game, you just kind of chalk it up. Weird games happen sometimes, but there's no doubt that the coaching is going to be the group that has to answer for this collapse.
I just feel like when they came out in the second half, they just looked like they was playing not to lose.
They were.
Yeah. And it's and what it is, Vinny, is that they are so comfortable being in one-score games. They think they have a superpower. And you hope that this is a game that teaches them a lesson that when you have a chance to blow a team out and end the game early, please keep your foot on the gas and go and keep going for it and stop letting a team back into the game.
But AJ was right on every DB they tried to put on him up. It was like insane.
I said it to you at leaving halftime. I just got this like pit in my stomach, and I said, please, just go out there and finish them. You have them on the ropes. They're committing like comical turnovers. They're shooting themselves in the foot. They want to give you this game. And they went out there and played like they were scared. Like, finish it. Just finish it. You had the team on the ropes, and I just got this feeling of like, ew. And that's what they did.
Let's use the show. Let's use the chat as a repository.
Get
for
the
you to
anger
get
out.
your
Get the
anger
likes
out.
up. Let's go.
Get your venom out. Let's get to the super chats early. Sam Reed just gives us a nice super chat. We appreciate that. Alex Schlesinger says, do you think the loss will make them consider making a change? I am physically ill.
I don't see. Well, defensively, he's saying, or
Well, I'll tell you what.
I could go without Xavier Gibson ever again in my life.
damn.
This is.
I mean, dude, what are you doing?
I mean, you're
never coached like that.
Absolutely cannot catch that ball.
Noah
at the
Curry,
1 yard line.
if he's returning a punt on the 1 yard line, he goes, I'm going to let this one go through to the end zone.
Yeah, he definitely will let it go.
Yeah. Like, that is
It was going to land in the end zone. You absolutely cannot
If
take
not, he'd
that
be
one.
walking back to Philadelphia from Dallas. He'd call my wife. My wife would be pissed.
But seriously, like, that's unforgivable. For a non-factor on this team, you can't do that there.
Yeah, I mean, it's a thing where everybody's pressing, everybody wants to make a play. You could sort of get into the mind of him making that decision, but it's a terrible decision.
Britton Covey,
Can't be doing it.
come on down. You're the next contestant on Who the Hell's Our Punt Returner?
Brendan Martin says, we need to sign Deontay Johnson or get Josh Johnson to play quarterback. Those both seem like odd solutions to the game that I just watched, but I appreciate that. Ladies and gentlemen, Josh Johnson's agent is in the chat. Cash Squatch. This felt more on players and Nick than KP. I actually don't. I agree with that. I don't think that this was a Patullo game. I actually thought it was good in the fourth quarter. It seemed like he recognized that the running game was not going in this game, but that one play call is absolutely going to come back to haunt us, the 3rd and 2, because I mean there was nobody even close to it.
And the two special team plays.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm fine with giving Patullo a pass today. My anger's at Nick. 4th and 2, 3rd and 2. Like, what are you doing, man?
Vafka with the super chat says, unacceptable second half, full stop. What's it going to take to knock some sense into the offense? What is the catalyst other than more losses? And this is kind of where maybe it's the contrarian in me, but I actually think that this loss could turn out to be a greater good.
Could be.
Because in this game, if you are looking at it clear-headed, you can learn, okay, you know what? Our running game stinks right now. We need to pass the ball. And if we take the reins off of Jalen Hurts a little bit, he's 27 for 39 for 289 yards and a touchdown in this game against, admittedly, a bad Cowboys pass defense. A.J. Brown looked really good in this game. And A.J. and Jalen seemed on the same page.
Yes,
in this
they
game.
did.
Yeah, they did. That was the
ball was
positive.
coming out quick. It was not
Men in
like
Black
just,
was back.
there you go. I like that. This is how they can play on offense. And maybe it's a lesson, it's a slap across the face, as we said, that if you're rolling on offense, stop changing what you're doing. Keep going. You do not have a magic wand that just says, we know how to win close games. We're really good at this. Okay? And yes, they will probably point to, we had 2 turnovers. That's why we lost the game, is we had 2 turnovers. But it's not that simple. They could have scored 35 points in this game very easily. And I think they need to realize and recognize that their path on offense is being a passing offense, and then let the defense cook. It's fine. The defense, they made some mistakes today, a lot of them injury-related. I'm not worried about the defense. This is the best thing. The offense has looked in a month.
So, Bo, you're saying are you admitting that AJ was right about opening it up the passing game?
Oh, I don't think I ever disagreed with AJ about opening up the passing game. Yeah, I think he's been right all along about that.
Yeah, I think AJ's completely justified in his beliefs and what he says.
And the way he balled out today, I mean, I knew he was pissed this week when they thought he slowed down. And he looked like pretty good to me.
And guess what? The argument against, we don't want to open it up in the passing game too much is because we're afraid of turnovers. Well, the turnovers they had in this game, one came on special teams, and one happens with Saquon getting caught from behind. Right? That's not a Jalen Hurts turnover. Correct. So maybe you can trust that Jalen Hurts can throw the ball and not turn the ball over.
You gotta let them cook.
More super chats.
Man, if Zach Bond just catches that freaking interception.
I know. That's brutal, too.
And then it was
That's the thing where I'm saying, like, it really was a game where...
that PI on Smitty was, I'd never seen nothing like that.
That
He
was
would've touched him.
pathetic.
Yeah, absolutely. The pass interference on Smitty for when he's getting jammed.
Blocking?
Yeah.
Investigate the refs.
There's there are a
Jerry's
couple just
check
weird
clear.
bounces of the ball where, like at the very end of the game, if that Ferguson fumble just stays in bounds, the Eagles recover it.
I also thought the Cooper DeJean DPI against CD
That was a
there
crazy call.
Was
CD was
ridiculous.
pushing off him, no doubt about it.
Ridiculous.
It did give us a good Jake Elliott meme, though.
It did, yeah. Jerry's Venmo must have cleared in the third quarter there.
Professor Patrick Phoenix, congratulations on becoming a professor. Patrick says,
Professor.
Changing the play caller would just be rearranging the deck chairs on the Titanic. Sirianni's conservative BS is the root cause of all this. Leave him and this entire offensive staff in Dallas. Wow. Who's going to coach the offensive line, Professor? You can't let Stout there. Brendan Martin says, what if we convert Jalen to running back since he's clearly the best running back? Also put our starting offense on defense for a series since they can't play offense. Jamie, I do have bad news after the kickoff show, which is that we're going to have to move studios because I bet the studio on Tank Bigsby over 13.5 rushing yards. He had 1 carry for 8 yards, and then they never give him the ball again.
Oh, but again, back to the 3rd and 2. I don't know. Maybe change it up and throw Tank in there.
Wow. That would have been wild to go Tank on 3rd and 2.
He's your short yardage back
I thought they were just going to go with another Jalen Hurts run.
Just
and
push it.
This
twice.
was another thing that was nice to see in this game was Jalen becoming involved in the running game as like a non-scrambler. 7 for 33, but a few of them for first downs that were designed
And
plays
1 for a touchdown.
was encouraging to see.
That was
Yeah.
nice.
Devin Stepp. I just don't understand. The dysfunction on display is absolutely confounding. This is one of the best run franchises. I like reading these. It's hard to be angry and use that good vocabulary. You know what I mean?
Yes.
The dysfunction on display is confounding.
Well, they using ChatGPT or nah?
I hope not. I'll kick him off if that's the case. Police ready. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Punt, 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 punt. Missed field goal, fumble, punt. Season unraveling, locker room fracturing loss.
I don't think this is a locker room fracture.
I don't think so either.
I actually think that this game helped the locker room.
Go on.
Yeah.
Talk me
Take
into
that
this.
and run with it.
Okay, check me out. 7-Eleven, always open. 10 catches for 100 and
8 for 110 on 10 targets and a touchdown.
Listen. And Smitty got off as well.
Mm-hmm.
I actually think this helped the locker room, and I think it helped everybody around. It's one of those losses that special teams,
Mm-hmm.
the Saquon fumble from behind.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but take the positive out of it.
Yeah, nobody's pointing the finger at Jalen.
Yeah,
If they're pointing at the finger at Jalen this week.
nice.
No one's pointing the finger
I
at
think
Jalen
I seen
this
a
game.
high five. Did we see a high five with an 11-1? Okay, I think this. Aha, Broham. This one of those.
But what do you
I
think?
could be sold.
I buy that this isn't like season over and the team's unraveling and they're going to collapse. But what is that locker room like after a game like this? Take us inside that. Because is it just like people sitting in their locker kind of compressing from the game and kind of like reflecting on what just happened? Is it a state of shock? Is it anger? Like, what do you think is going on in there right now?
We hate to lose in Philadelphia. You still pissed off. You had, like you said, we should have blew them out.
Yeah.
You're down 21-0, We came out second half super conservative. Oh, they pissed. We're not saying that. No, they pissed off.
Are the coaches pissed?
Even more pissed, yes. You should be. Imagine sitting next to Mr. Loy on that plane ride back.
Yeah, that's who's,
Well, I don't think any players are getting to sit next to Jeffrey.
No, that's what I'm saying. No, he said the coach is pissed. I said,
yes.
so imagine sitting next to Mr. Loy
Yes.
on that plane ride back.
what's he like after a bad loss? Does he have a scowl on him? You just not go near him?
Sit right there. You better hope he's sitting next to Dom.
To the Jalen discussion, just in terms of his numbers as a passer in this game, the advanced numbers, EPA per dropback. It was his 5th best game of the season. It was also the game this season where he had the fewest percentage of negative plays, despite having nearly 40 dropbacks. Again, I am pointing to, they got to trust Jalen. Like, let him cook with the guys that he has.
Yeah, I mean, listen, with AJ and Jalen, that got us to 2 Super Bowls, man. And now we're just opening it up to, we got to get back to doing what we do. Hopefully this game has opened, their eyes there to let this keep going, especially coming up this week.
All right, back to the angry super chats. Let's get back into character here. We've got King Street, J King Street, who says, horrid running game, penalties, fumbles, killed drives, and erased first downs. Passing game carried offense as much as it could, but 3rd and 2, they revert to hitches and AJ slant, and nothing is open. That leads to the sack. I mean, honestly, that's as concise and trenchant analysis as we have. You nailed the whole thing. Fantastic.
It's just crazy because you could see that the O-line was super banged up today with the running game where it was going. Saquon was trying to make something out of nothing.
Just to tick it off, I mean, so you had Fred Johnson starting for Lane Johnson in this game. Reed Blankenship leaves. We'll get to that in a second. Adoree Jackson looks like he suffered a concussion. And so at first it looked like Keely Ringo was going in. Then Michael Carter goes in. And so for the most of this second half, after Adoree Jackson goes down, it's Michael Carter in nickel when they're in nickel and Cooper DeJean on the outside. Cooper gets beat a couple times downfield, for the people who wanted to see how this would play out. How is he on the outside versus on the inside? We're not going to make a judgment off of one game, but he didn't look quite as dominant on the outside. He's also going up against George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb. But Michael Carter, he ran into a guy on a very important play down there at the end. And then, Sidney Brown was a problem. I don't want to kill the guy because he is a backup, and
Drew Makuba,
he's lost jobs before.
To your point, Drew Makuba looked like a nasty injury. Like your
Achilles?
I don't know. It looked like his ankle. Like
really?
Yeah, I didn't like what I saw there.
Okay.
So to your point about Sidney Brown
was a problem.
I hope he doesn't have to be a starter.
Malcolm,
I hope I'm wrong.
Malcolm, are you in shape?
Yeah, Malcolm. Yeah, let's see. Rodney, I see Rodney doing those workout videos.
Yeah.
Rodney, he's staying fit.
All right.
Malcolm's going to be the honorary captain Friday on Black Friday here, so...
Maybe not honorary. All right, back to the angry super chats before we take a break and get to Fran Duffy in just a few minutes. Markel Moyer says, what was the Cooper DeJean call? To your point. I mean, that did look like a trash call.
Yeah, it was.
I'm sure that there would be Cowboys fans who would say, why are we not mentioning the blown call on the roughing the kicker that led to the Eagles' second touchdown on the punt when it looked like it was tipped? Although they never brought up in the broadcast, the guy who tipped the ball is not the one who was flagged. The guy who was flagged was the one who hit him in the head. So I actually don't know that was supposed to be picked up or not. Miss Mister's instinct. Listen, I love Saquon, but overall, this was his worst game by far in an Eagles uniform. Some of the run and weird dancing and fumble. Brutal. Yeah, he did slip a couple times too.
A lot of people were slipping, it felt like.
I thought Jalen did a good job getting him involved in the passing game. Frederick Schwein. Sidney Brown stinks. Stop playing on the fumble. And Gibson needs to be left in Dallas. How do you catch a punt on the one?
I'm
shaking my head.
I'm cool with that.
I think the super chat when a lot of people would be left in Dallas.
Well, like our Discord channel.
How do you feel the team?
Don't react however you want to react, but don't go overboard. Like, this does not mark the beginning of the end. I know our sister station DLLS has been all year like they're on the verge of collapse. They're on the verge of... No, they're not. Like, this is still a winning team with winning players. Our Discord channel is going insane. And if you want to be a Discord channel,
if insane sounds good to you,
you can become jump in the insanity and become a diehard with us here at PHLY. But literally, there's people in there going, "This team is nothing but a bunch of losers." I'm like, Call them what you want. Like, get it off your chest. Fine. This team is not a bunch of losers. They're literally the defending world champions who were 8-2 before this game. They are now 8-3 and control their own destiny, most likely to be the 1 seed in the NFC if they don't collapse. So, like, can we stop with the literal, this team is losers?
A bunch of losers is actually a very funny
They are not a bunch of losers. They had a bad game with some moments they want back. Like, everybody just take a deep breath.
You cannot continue to rely on playing games in which you get outgained and you just think we know what to do in a close game, we're going to win.
Absolutely.
Which is like that's the way that Nick Sirianni describes it sometimes, and that's just not real.
Yeah, my first play out of halftime would have been a bomb. Like, I would have tried to stretch the field and like make the Cowboys feel what I was bringing their way. And
especially the way AJ was cooking.
Yeah, like, I get it, the anger, because that's a bad loss. That's a bad, pathetic, inexcusable loss. So many things contributed to it. But let's not call these guys losers. They are not losers. This is literally the golden age of Eagles football.
Loser is a very funny specific.
I'm in the Discord like trying to talk people down. I'm like, this is on me because I'm talking to emotional anger that's like unhinged right now. So react how you want to react. I'm not trying to get on a pedestal and tell you what to do. But like, this team is not losers. All right.
Markel with the super chat, another one, says, also does Saquon need new cleats? Slipping a lot. We talked about that. Soto stuff. It was ultimately on Sirianni, but the issues with the O-line cannot be ignored. Quinnen Williams was eating Tyler Steen's lunch, eaten on almost every snap. They can't be a running team with this offensive line.
I think we talked about that. We hit on that.
Talked about that. Steve says, I love what you're saying, Bo. Welcome, Steve. Steve, you look very handsome tonight. And he's saying, in terms of opening up the passing game, I have no confidence that the coaches will do it. And that, of course, is the rub. All right, we'll get to more of your super chats. We'll hear from E.J. Smith, who can tell us what the reaction was from the players in the locker room in a little bit. We'll get to Vinny's Beef of the Week. But for now, we take a break, and on the other side, we will hear from Fran Duffy for his expert perspective on the collapse that we just witnessed. Ashley's Black Friday sale event is happening now, and the deals hit hard. Door-busting savings on today's most wanted sofas, sectionals, dining, bedrooms, and mattresses. Upgrade your home for the holidays and take advantage of 0% interest for 60 months. Plus, get a free gift with purchase. This year's selection is packed with must-have pieces starting at just $199, and it won't last long. Ashley, Black Friday starts here.
And you can find out why it's never ordinary at Bet365. It's never ordinary because they stream over 780,000 events every single year, and they have great early payout offers across all the sports. And then when it comes to football, well, they got Thursday night football, $10 safety net picks. They got Sunday night football where you can get a part of the $365,000 jackpot. Place a $10 bet on the first touchdown score and get a split of the $365K in bonus bets if your player scores the final touchdown of the game. Payable regardless if the first touchdown score bet wins or loses. Sunday night jackpot, Monday night football, 50% profit boost. There's always something good for you at Bet365. And breaking news, new customers can get $150 in bonus bets when you bet $5, win or lose. Sign up, use that code PHLY365, deposit $10, place a bet for $5 to get $150 in bonus bets if your bet wins or loses. Bonus bets can be used on spreads, totals, player props, futures, and more. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Must be 21 and older and physically located in PA. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Ashley's Black Friday sale event is happening now, and the deals hit hard. Door-busting savings on today's most wanted sofas, sectionals, dining, bedrooms, and mattresses. Upgrade your home for the holidays and take advantage of 0% interest for 60 months. Plus, get a free gift with purchase. This year's selection is packed with must-have pieces starting at just $199, and they won't last long. Ashley, Black Friday starts here. All right, we're back on the PHLY Eagles post-game show presented by Bet365 and Ashley. And now we dial up the Ashley Fran's film room and bring in our man, Fran Duffy. Hi, Fran. How are you?
Hi, Fran.
Hey, guys.
Usually I'm excited, Fran.
Hi,
How you
Fran.
doing? Hi, Fran.
I'm like Eeyore, the sad and angry elephant over here. Hi, friend.
All right. I want to get your general thoughts. I want to hear a lot, but I want to start with the most important play of the game, which is one of the ones you sent over here, and that is this game is tied at 21-21. The Eagles' offense, despite like not scoring points on the previous two possessions, is moving the ball. They have had penalties hamstring them, but they are moving the ball. They have 3rd and 2 on their own 39-yard line after the 2-minute warning. So they've had all 5 minutes or whatever it is to think about what the situation is, which is that we should probably have 2 chances to pick up this first down. And all we really need is 20 yards, and we will probably have a chance to kick a game-winning field goal here. And then Jalen Hurts takes a sack, and they have to punt the ball away, and they lose the game. What did you see on the play, and should we consider jumping out the window?
It was this was a good example of the frustrations I have with broadcasts at times, where you've got a quarterback in the booth who could show us what the quarterback is seeing, and yet they don't show us what the quarterback is seeing. So all I've got to show, they showed the offensive line after, but this was not an offensive line sack. It was a stunt that got home. Oso Odigizua gets home and he sacks Jalen Hurts. Hurts had plenty of time for what the concept seemed to be. Now, again, I'm going off like the main broadcast angle. I'm very anxious to see what this play looks like in the morning. But guys, let's take a look at the first shot here. It's Jalen sack 1. We'll take a look at what I think he's seeing here off to his left side, because he's going to drop back on 3rd down. And to me, he's got 3 receivers to his left. He's got Devontae Smith to his right. And to me, it looks like he wants the vertical route from the number 2 receiver is releasing downfield. It looks like it's going to be some kind of a corner route working over to that side, to the wide side of the field. So when Jalen drops back, you can see his eyes are looking that way. Now, he's got A.J. Brown over to that side. He's got Dallas Goedert working a little hitch route over the ball. But it looks to me like he wants, I believe that's Darius Cooper, lined up at number 2, and he looks like that's what he's looking at, working down the field. Now,
you
again,
think? Hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on. I mean, there is nobody in the world who wants Darius Cooper to get the ball more than me. But you're telling me that the primary read here on 3rd and 2 with the game on the line is Darius Cooper going downfield?
Again, I'm going off of this, so that I, don't take this as gospel. I'm just going off of what I without seeing what that route is. Okay. I can't say oh yeah, this is the concept, right? And so, I'm just trying to go off of where Jalen's eyes appear to be looking. He's looking over to his left. Now, if we go to the next shot, you'll see all right, he's going to drop back. He's got his eyes over that way. And to me, again, I'm looking at Jalen's eyes, and he's looking at that direction. Now, we know, look, the passing game is all about timing, all right? And so you can see, all right, A.J. Brown at the top, the very top of the screen, he's getting locked up. He's facing some press coverage. Dallas Goedert working in the middle of the field. He's facing some press coverage. They're trying to reroute him. Cooper from the slot, he's got free access, so he's working up to the second level. And to me, again, looking at Jalen's eyes here from this angle, it seems like that's where he's looking. But if we go to the next shot, he gets off of that. He drops his eyes to peek the rush, and he starts to retreat backwards in the pocket. But if you're keeping your eyes there, again, my guesstimation, based off what we're seeing here just from this broadcast angle, this ball should be out to Dallas Goedert on this little ball route over the middle of the field, past the sticks. And he took a peek over to Devontae Smith. He dropped his eyes. He started to bide time and started to creep back in the pocket. And because the game it wasn't in rhythm, now Goddard's not open anymore. And then then you get Osa, who's able to get home for the sack. You go to the last shot, and you can see that he's able to get home. He squeezes through. They were running a stunt over on the offensive left side, and Osa is able to sneak through. It's one of the things that he does best. He's really good running stunts and twists. So again, I'm anxious to see what that concept was. When I turn the film on tomorrow morning, this was the only replay that I've got of the play. But that was critical. And to me, that's one where the structure of the offense, where it is so based on timing. Daniz came on Friday and talked about all the hitches. Hitch routes are timing routes. And we've talked about this in the past with the structure of the offense and all the 2x2. That is like timing, rhythm, pacing. Like it's got to be like 1, 2, 3. Like okay, ball out, and if the ball's not out, the concept on the other side is already blown as well. So now that's when you get into scramble drill, and when you get into scramble drill, sometimes things go well and sometimes things don't. And on that play, things did not go well, obviously, and it was a play that ultimately ended up costing the Eagles this football game.
And by the way, the very first sack of the game that Jalen Hurts took in a game in which the pass protection was very good throughout. What did you see, if we stick on the offense, with why the running game was so putrid?
Yeah, that's another one where it's like, all right, it just seemed like there was different blocks at fault on each and every one of those runs, and so I'll chart it once we go through the film tomorrow. There was not one resounding theme that showed up for me. It seemed like it was a little bit of everything. Sometimes I was like, all right, looks like Juergens may have lost to Quinnen Williams on this play. It looks like Fred Johnson whiffed on this one. It looks like a tight end missed here. Saquon got a little bit too fast up into the hole on this one. I do like the fact that we saw drives, especially in the first half of this game, and they did it in the second half as well, where the quarterback run element was a big part of him. And that touchdown drive that ends with the quarterback draw for Jalen Hurts, there were 3 individual plays on there where you had 3 different concepts that utilized the threat of Jalen's legs. And we have not seen that has been a non-factor with this offense all season long. But there was one where they ran QB counter read. And then there was one where they ran the 3rd and 3 where Saquon Barkley runs for 7 to the left sideline. That's a read play. And then you've got the QB draw out of empty that Jalen Hurts audibled into. And so, if we're looking at like what are some bright spots, like that's something where, okay, they're trying to breathe some life into the run game by trying to utilize Jalen's legs and trying to lean into that. I wonder if that's something we'll see more of down the stretch, but obviously that was not enough to keep that run game afloat here in this.
Can I call out an absolute loser real quick? Danny Merlino.
No, don't give him.
No. If you're a Cowboys fan that's celebrating an Eagles loss more than your own team's victory, get the hell out of here.
Well,
but hit that like button before you get out of here.
To celebrate on their own.
I mean, come on. Watching the other team's loss instead of enjoying the own. We have a station in Dallas. Go enjoy the win.
He's never experienced a Super Bowl victory. Give the guy a break.
Feel like cry.
The thing is, Jamie, like
come on. They're the Cowboys.
The thing is, if you like shine a light on a cockroach,
I know,
the cockroach goes,
but like,
scurrying,
come on,
he's not going to scurry. He's like, this. You're
go enjoy your victory elsewhere, you loser. That's all.
Okay. You know what? Let's stick on the offense while we're here, though, because did you feel like the passing game was cooking to some degree today?
Yeah, it was a great start. So there were some good things. I spent halftime working on the opening drive touchdown for AJ Brown. Like I don't even know if that's even worth.
You can break it down for us if you want to.
It was fun. Those were the good times.
Come on, Frank, get the people what they want to see.
Yeah, like there was rhythm, there was pacing. It seemed like there were some nice play designs. He's working the middle of the field. You had a downfield shot. You saw them try to work in the screen game. They had some creative RPOs, like a little bit of everything. I thought from a game plan standpoint, that stuff like from a design that looked good in the first half. Now I'm looking at this, and I was after I finished up the plays, I'm like, all right. First drive touchdown, second drive touchdown, but it was a 3 and out that got extended because of that the roughing the punter. Then you had touchdown, then you go 3 and out, then you have a give up drive at the end of the second quarter. Then you have a 3 and out, then you have 2 straight incompletions to go out on 3rd down and you punt. 3 and out on the 8th drive. You miss the field goal after getting back to 1st and 25. Then you get the fumble. Then you get the Odighizuwa sack on 3rd down. Like this offense just went completely stale after those first 3 drives.
You want to hear a fun stat? The Eagles blew a 21-point lead. The collapse ties the biggest blown lead ever by a defending Super Bowl champ since the 2003 Buccaneers. That's fun.
Screw that team.
Yeah.
That's right.
All right, well, you want to take a look at the AJ Brown?
Yeah, might as well. Yeah, you did the work.
Might as well.
Let's not make it
for it. All right, let's take a look. So this one, guys, will be AJ Post 1. Look, we know that Matt Eberflus, they love to play zone coverage. It's 3rd and 5 in the red zone, and you're going to get cover 3 here on this play. They start with a split safety look, so Jalen's got to make sure, okay, are we going to actually getting split safety, or is it going to be single high? They end up rotating into single high. So the guy that's circled, that safety there, he is going to be the deep safety. Both corners are going to drop into the deep third. That other safety to the boundary is going to roll down, and he is going to be the curl flat player. So you've got 4 underneath, you've got 3 deep. High school cover 3 here for Jalen Hurts and the Eagles offense. So with this concept, there's essentially 2 defenders that you've got to beat. If we go to the next shot, basically you've got A.J. Brown working the bottom of the screen. He has got to make sure he beats that corner. That's A.J.'s job here on this play. Jalen's job is to make sure that post safety doesn't cheat over in that direction. So you've got A.J. lined up to the boundary. He's running an ISO, like a kind of a skinny post, a glance route from that side. That's going to be the concept here on this play to the boundary. So if we go to the next shot, you see that Jalen, he is eyeing up the right side the entire way. He's trying to keep that safety that started on the left hash, keep him over there. I kept the circle on the screen just to kind of say, like, yeah, like the safety is staying over there because Jalen takes the snap, drops back, and keeps his eyes trained on that side of the field. AJ is going to widen his initial stem. Again, knowing that this corner at the bottom of the screen, you can see he's already turned his back to the sideline. He's got to play this with outside leverage. He's got to be wider than the widest receiver, and that's AJ Brown. He's going to try and funnel AJ inside to his help. But as long as Jalen is keeping his eyes over to the right side, that help's not going to be there from the safety. And so now, once Jalen hits the top of his drop, we go to the next shot. Once he hits the top of his drop, he gets his eyes back. He's going to make sure, all right, do I have what I'm hoping for here? If it is, I've got to be really quick twitch here and get the ball out of my hands fast. And he puts this ball exactly where it needs to be. Now, it might look, he put this behind A.J. Brown. A lot of quarterbacks rather, they will purposely put this a little bit on the back shoulder just in case that safety does want to try and scream over to the other side and try and, you don't want to lead them too much into the safety. So if you're going to be a little bit behind, if you're going to miss rather, you want to be a little bit outside as opposed to inside towards the safety. So he puts this where AJ can get it, and AJ comes down with it. So well-scripted play, well-executed play by Jalen and by AJ there on that one, and they come out with a touchdown there in the red zone.
All right, let's flip sides of the ball here, Fran, and I guess let's talk about the play that really got the Cowboys into easy field goal territory. And I do have to say, I didn't love the way that Sirianni handled those timeouts at the end there.
Yeah.
Because it looked like
I agree with that.
It looked like the Cowboys were going to settle for the long field goal, and then he called timeout. If they're going to let it run. And then he stopped using them. It was a weird, yes. Yeah, it was like it didn't really make sense what he did. Anyway, they call timeout, and so the Cowboys come out and they hit this big play to George Pickens where the Eagles have guys running all into each other.
Yeah, I saw that there were people in the chat saying, like, all right, well, who ran into Q? So I wanted to make sure we definitely covered this.
Was it
play.
Sendejo?
So, this was not Sendejo, although we got a mini Sendejo in the
I think we do.
I agree with you that Sidney did not have a good day. I mean, look, I didn't pull the play, but even like that punt coverage rep, like where he's the jammer going up against Elijah Clark, like he's going for the kill shot there. He's trying to bury him and trying to get the highlight there. Dude, like lock him up and stay on him. Like you don't need to let go and like push him down there. Like you want to try like engage and without trying to draw a flag. Like I'd be interested to get Michael Clay's thoughts on that one. But I did not think Sidney looked all that great.
I mean, listen, he's a backup. I don't want to kill the guy. It's a tough spot to be in, but
now that said, let's take a look at the Pickens one. So this is obviously a critical play in the game, and what you're going to see here before the snap is that the Cowboys are going to bring Kevontae Turpin in motion from left to right. Michael Carter is going to stay with him in coverage. So Carter is going to travel with Kevontae Turpin in motion. He's going to go across the field. Now, what the Eagles are doing defensively, they are blitzing Nakobe Dean here on this play. If you go to the next shot, you see that Nakobe is already creeping up towards the line of scrimmage. So you've got a 5-man front. Nakobe's going to blitz. The Eagles are playing man-to-man coverage here on this play. This is actually a really good play call from Dallas because the Eagles are playing man-to-man. You get this natural rub here. But if Dak is forced to hold on to this ball for a second later, I think the linebackers are getting home for at least for a pressure and maybe for a sack. But you've got Nakobe up on the line of scrimmage. If we go to the next shot, you can see that he's going to drop back. You can see Carter is already about to run into Q. He's getting ready to run into Quinyon Mitchell. You're going to get Turpin running to the flat. He's running to the sideline. Pickens is running a slant route. Carter impacts Quinyon. So now this is a nice, easy throw here for Dak Prescott in rhythm. And again, you're hoping that this doesn't happen if Quinyon and Carter, if that communication's a little bit better. It's a rough circumstance there for Carter. He runs into Quinyon. You go to the next shot here, and the reason why it's tough is that Nakobe impacts the back. Now, the back did a better job in pass protection here, but you could see that Bond, he is actually green dogging here. He sees that his man, the running back, is staying in protection. He's inserting into the rush here. So if Dak has to hold this ball, if he's got a pump fake, if Quinyon is in Pickens' hip pocket here on this play, who knows how this would have worked out for the Eagles. But I kind of like Zach Bond's chances. I like Nakobe Dean's chances here to be able to get home on this pressure. But because the ball is able to come out fast, we go to the last shot. Pickens is wide open here, and then you get the catch and run. And then Makuba, unfortunately, gets injured. Jamie, I agree with you. It did not look good.
Somebody in the chat just said Jimmy Kempski's reporting he's on crutches and in a boot.
Yeah, not good.
Not great. What are the options here that is not Sidney Brown?
Well, let's talk about it. You could move Michael Carter to safety. That's a possibility. You could.
Vic Fangio did say that he is not a safety, or he didn't see him as a safety.
You could move Cooper DeJean to safety.
You could move Cooper DeJean to safety.
Now, we also don't know what happened to Reed Blankenship. So Reed Blankenship didn't come back in this game.
I think I medically diagnosed Makuba all right. It looked to me like Reed took Nakobe's kneecap, like a deep muscle bruise type of thing. Like he kind of came.
I feel like he would have come back if it was.
I think so too, right? But like hopefully it's not a pull because that's a couple weeks.
Now you do have Marcus. Oh no, Marcus Epps is on IR. He hasn't been cleared to return to practice just yet. So you've got you got Andre Sam on practice squad.
All right.
Yeah.
Desperate times.
Yeah, it's not ideal.
Now here's a question for you, Fran. Maybe
with the week of practice, Sidney Brown will be better.
Yeah, and that's what you have to hope. I mean, you absolutely have to hope that. That's a critical play.
Short week though. Ew.
And Vic chooses to send Nakobe. And it makes sense because Nakobe was responsible for the only sack the Eagles had in this game. And I did feel like the pass rush, which has been ferocious the past 2 weeks, was a little bit quiet today. What did you think about that?
Yep. No question. There were numerous dropbacks in the second half where I was like, I kind of said aloud, like, the pass rush has been quiet. Like, all right, this is where you got to come alive. Like, one of these guys has got to be able to win. Tyler Guyton steps out for a few snaps there in the second half. They're still like just unable to get that pressure. I would say that was outside of the offense just going completely stale for the last 3 quarters. That was the most disappointing aspect of this game, was the fact that the pass rush was mostly non-existent for most of the night.
Dak was 2.63 time to throw, which is the 4th quickest the Eagles have faced this season, but not especially they had time to get home, and he really did not seem harassed.
No, and that's to me, that's what you were hoping for coming into this game. We talked about it in the pregame show, is that that was the difference from week 1 to now. You have Jalen Carter, you have Jalen Phillips, you've got Moro Ojimo, playing at a higher level than what he was to start the season. So you were definitely hoping for more from this defensive line going into this matchup than what you got.
All right, so what's your zoom out a little bit? Macro take. Do you feel like this could be in service of something better, or do you think that this is the crack that leads to the whole thing collapsing?
I want to lean towards it not being that that level of disaster, but look, that's a long flight home, man. Like after a game like that, Vinny knows, like that's a long flight.
Dallas is always sneaking a little bit longer than you think it should be, that flight.
Yeah.
Yeah, right, exactly. But that's
they're not flying commercial. It'll be fine.
But it's always like this is like a 3-hour flight.
We're not getting home
till
late.
4.5.
Yeah, especially with a short week.
Yeah.
Yes.
With a short week. No, it's look. This is going to be a tough one to swallow. I do agree that there's a chance that maybe there are like like personnel standpoint, but maybe philosophically, and maybe that's something that benefits this team in the long. But look, man, like they seem to want to play this style of game in terms of like, oh, we're gonna gut it out, and we're gonna figure out a way to win. That's underperforming for what this team is. Like what they're paid to do, the way that this team is built. Like this team is built to blow defenses like this out of the water, and the fact that they didn't is, I don't want to say alarming. It's alarming. They should have done more against this defense and against this team.
Fran, Xavier Gibson, what's going on there?
Goodbye tomorrow. Like
Really?
can't be on the team tomorrow.
I'm with him.
Fran, cut somebody.
Really?
Whoa.
Can't. That's what happened to him in New York to start the year. Literally, like Aaron Glenn cut him the next day. He can't be on the team tomorrow. Like that is like such an egregious error. And honestly, for a loss like that could be a way for like for the coach in the front office to kind of say like, kind of shoot a message across the bow, like 14 penalties yesterday. You had all these mistakes on all three sides. That's an error you cannot make. You cannot field that punt.
I'm trying to think. I honestly, I cannot remember Howie ever doing that. The Eagles ever actually like cutting a guy for a mistake the day after a game.
Great time to start.
Yeah, I mean, you might need a roster spot.
Now, I mean, I can remember like
safety.
cutting Jason Babin to send a message, but like in terms of like a guy making a mistake like that.
I feel like we did.
I believe you.
It's gonna come to me.
Okay,
Yeah, I have to think that through. I feel like there might be somebody.
but I mean, that's
pretty
That was- I mean, that's
inexcusable.
Egregious error.
I didn't think I was going to get that kind of heat out of you. That's fantastic.
I mean, who knows? Maybe I'll sleep on it and I'll feel different about it tomorrow. But like to me, like
Guy's got a family.
it's not like you're. Oh, what are they? Are they going to miss his 3-yard speed sweep that they got to him in the first quarter? Like, I don't know that they necessarily.
Devontae ran it better. Yeah.
This one to me, that would be an easy chance to take, an easy shot to take.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, like, what purpose does he serve here? Goodbye.
Right.
Yikes.
Britton Covey, come on down. He's in the locker room, right? Like,
put Jahan Dotson back there. Like,
he's
literally,
in the
like,
practice squad.
anybody.
Yeah, anybody.
All right. Any final thoughts on just anything else you saw that we haven't talked about from this game that was interesting to you?
I have
to put
looking
you
at
on
my
the spot.
notes. I have Sydney with a down arrow. We already talked through that. Yeah, I mean the Nakobe Dean sack was awesome.
What an awesome play!
Awesome play, and then it wasn't even just like him beating them back one-on-one, which was outstanding, and we've come to expect that. But also like Dallas is running double slant on the opposite side, and that's exactly where Dak is looking, and they were dropping the defensive end right into the window there. Like it was perfect. It was just picture perfect. So I was going to break that one down here on the show, but obviously we scrapped that. Yeah, I think I covered everything. I'm excited to go through the film, and see. Honestly, like this is one where I am genuinely interested to see the offense and see what the hell happened from a pass game standpoint. Because while Jalen looked good in the first couple drives, there were a number of third down plays and like critical down plays where he scrambles for 5 yards, or it was a throwaway, or you had obviously we talked about the sack, like a number of those plays where I'm like, all right, like I wish we could have seen some kind of a replay here to see what he saw down the field.
Brand, last one before you go. The Devontae Smith blocking penalty.
Terrible call, awful call,
Okay.
awful on the RPO.
Fire that ref tomorrow.
The refs were brutal all night. I felt.
All right. While we're on the subject, Cooper DeJean and CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah. No, there was I thought the refs were brutal on both sides tonight.
Well, that was called by Vinny, who when he came in for the game was like, I think this guy was calling games before I even started playing.
Yo, you don't feel like that? I feel like that.
Vinovich.
I think you're right.
Yeah, I feel like he was calling,
I'm pretty sure
calling
you're right.
games
Wine
that was
before the game.
when PlayStation was a thing, the first PlayStation.
Crash Bandicoot. Vinovich.
It's a good game.
All right, Fran. Thank you so much. We will talk to you tomorrow, 2:00. If you're just tuning in and you're like, oh my God, this Fran Duffy guy is so insightful. I want more of him. Well,
terrible.
Tune in tomorrow, 2:00 on the PHLY Eagles show as he helps break down this game after watching the film. Thank you so much, Fran, for joining us on the Fran's Film Room presented by Ashley.
See you guys.
See you, Fran.
And with that, we will take a quick break to hear from some more sponsors. On the other side, we'll get to Vinny's Beef of the Week. You could take this a different direction. You could have a beef with somebody instead.
That's true.
If you want. And we'll hear more from you. And then in a little bit, EJ Smith joins us to tell us what the players in the locker room had to say after the 21-point collapse against the Dallas Cowboys. Everybody's got their favorite tea, their favorite hard tea, but not everybody knows what's inside those teas. And if you've ever turned the can around to read what's inside, you might not be able to see it because a lot of teas don't have it. They hide what's inside. And while they hide what's inside, Crooked Tea brags about it. Crooked Tea brews real USDA organic tea for real flavor with zero sugar. No fake junk hiding behind the label. What you see is what you drink. So the next time you're at the store, flip the can, and if you can't find the ingredients, just put it back. Then grab a Crooked Tea, zero sugar, real tea, and fully transparent. You know it, Philly. Why drink the fake stuff? Crooked Tea, the only thing better is a strip sack in the Super Bowl. Visit crookedtea.com to find a store near you.
Woo, woo. Not a drill. Righteous Felon is getting ready for Black Friday. And they just dropped the biggest deal of the year. Exclusive for you, our listeners, PHLY listeners, get 25% off orders, $35 and up with code PHLY25. That's code PHLY25. And if you want to bring the best gift to the tailgate, the holiday party, or your cousin's couch during your favorite Birds games, this is it. It's the whole shebang bundle, and it's exactly that. Every jerky, biltong, and meat stick flavor that Righteous Felon makes packed into one epic gift bag. Sweet, spicy, smoky, wild. These bold bites hit harder than the Kobe Dean. Split it up as stocking stuffers or drop the whole bag at the snack table like a flavor grenade. High protein, low sugar, all American, all attitude. My family loves Righteous Felon. I just picked some up at Costco recently. With 16 different varieties, there's flavor for everyone. But fair warning, once you crack it open, it might not make it past kickoff. Your crew will be swiping sticks before the anthem is over. So skip those socks, ditch the gag gifts, and lock in 25% off before it disappears. They sell out every year. Go to righteousfelon.com, load up, and use that code PHLY25 while supplies last.
All right, we're back on the PHLY Eagles postgame show presented by Bet365 and Ashley. Vinny, are you ready for the Righteous Felon Beef of the Week? It's a very good moo you do.
I have a skill of animal noises.
Really?
When the girls were young, they really liked it, and I was obsessed with Goat Boy growing up when SNL was going on. So I developed a very good goat skill.
Okay, can we hear a goat? That is outstanding.
I do a good monkey. Yeah, I do some good animal noises. So
let's hear the monkey.
That's
That's very good.
When the girls were like below 2, like I was, idiot dad doing.
I can still do. Yeah, I more like
elephant.
act the monkey. I can, of course,
I got a bag of animal sounds.
nice.
So the cow's
on
easy.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that goat was great. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Anyway, the beef of the week, Vinny. Usually we give it to the offensive or defensive lineman of the game, but if you want to swerve here and go someone you have a beef with, by all means, I give the floor to you.
Oh man, I mean, if I had to give out the beef of the week, I would give it to N'Kobe. I thought he played lights out. The way he just took on and to get that sack was crazy.
That was
crucial.
awesome
Yeah,
sack.
that was crucial. And then Nolan Smith, had a forced fumble. Quietly too. Yeah, see.
What?
Nolan Smith had a forced fumble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the ball just kind of came out.
Hey, listen, he touched him.
Okay.
But it's the beef of the week to one of my guys, so I would give it to N'Kobe. Though.
Okay. Give it to N'Kobe. Well, let's stick on the defense here. I'll give you the snap counts that we have from this game since there were so many moving
I
parts.
thought Jordan Davis played pretty well.
I thought Jordan Davis played well. I thought Jalen Phillips was very quiet
Yeah.
in this game. All right, so you got 68 snaps on defense, all of them by Zach Bond, Cooper DeJean, and Quinyon Mitchell. 65 of 68 for Jalen Carter. Continues to be insane.
Wow.
Man, do you think we're ever going to get to see him actually intercept the spike?
I feel like he's
goes
come
for it.
so close.
I feel like he's going to get his hands on it, but to
to
actually
catch
catch the ball,
that, you'd
feels
have to
like-
fingertip, like squeeze, like that's gonna be tough.
But it'll be the greatest play in NFL history.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
That'd be
yeah.
so awesome.
65 for Drew Makuba. 56 for Nakobe Dean. 56 for Nakobe Dean compared to 11 for Jahad Campbell. So
Wow, that's
gap,
over.
That gap continues to widen. 54 snaps for Jalen Phillips. Yeah, a very quiet 54 snaps for Jalen Phillips. I don't believe he was even in the stat book in this game. So no tackles,
Wow.
no quarterback hits. 45 for Jordan Davis, 43 for Reed Blankenship, 41 for Moro Ojimo. First time in a while that Jordan Davis has played more snaps than Ojimo, but Ojimo was banged up during this game. 39 for Jalex Hunt, 37 for Nolan Smith, 25 for Adoree Jackson before he got hurt, 24 for Sidney Brown, 23 for Michael Carter, 8 for Brandon Graham, 5 for Byron Young, and 3 for Keely Ringo.
How many for Michael Carter?
23.
Mm.
All right, let's get back to the super chats.
Yeah,
I wanna
quiet
hear- I
day
wanna
from the
hear
defensive line, just overall.
Yeah, I think, and I think Fran is right. If we move beyond the just the stepping on our toes the whole game, the lack of the pass rush was a bit concerning in this game.
It was, yeah.
With a pair of they're good in the middle, the Cowboys, but the tackles can be had.
Especially when you know Dak was getting high. He was heating up.
Yeah. All right, the super chats. Steve, we already got that one. Sean Wolford. I don't want to hear about Hurts, AJ. I don't even want to hear about Sirianni. The O-line has been awful all year and can't run block and was poor on pass pro at times today. The biggest issue this year. What say you?
I don't disagree with that.
We talked about that all season, with the injuries, shuffling.
Yeah.
And look, this is another game. I know the Lane Johnson with and without numbers.
I know.
They can kind of be
just
skewed.
more. It's more annoying than anything.
I know.
It continues this
But
way, even though that probably wasn't the difference in this game. Yeah.
I know, but it is why. That's why I've
know.
called him the greatest Eagle ever. Not just because of that stat, but because 2 Super Bowls, the best in his position for a long period of time. But like the difference when he's there and not is wild. They can't run the ball this year. That, like, I agree, is their biggest problem. Cam Jurgens probably should have not played this year. Like, I'm concerned about his longevity because he seems banged up. Landon Dickerson was hurt to start the year. Jordan Mailata said, like, it took him way too long in the offseason to rehab and bounce back. Like, he didn't feel like himself. Like, this is the toll of playing so much football the last 2 or 3 years. Like, these guys are beat up, and the offensive line is not the same, and that's a reality we all have to accept. We're used to them being, like, world-beating juggernauts, and they're just not that anymore. And that's a tough pill to swallow.
I think that's well said.
That's a mic drop right there.
I want them to be back so bad.
Phil's fan in NC with a generous super chat says, I'm not so sure Kevin Patullo deserves a pass. They played well in the scripted portion of the game plan. Once he started calling plays live, they went back in their shell. Fair point. I am probably, it might be unfair, I am putting the decision to become more conservative as the game went on, I'm putting that on Sirianni. Because I do think that Patullo is getting his marching orders on like whether to be aggressive or not from Sirianni, but that could be wrong.
How do you think that transpires? Right? Because there's so like
It's like, okay, let's bleed clock here. Like, or let's.
it's just like a directive of possess it and
Right. Let's make sure we protect the ball. Let's not do anything. Let's not do anything stupid here.
But that's not like.
But you're up 21 points.
That's what I mean.
But like, did Doug Peterson teach you nothing? I'm not saying you should be learning everything, but you got to keep your foot on the pedal.
Well, what Nick Sirianni would say to that is that I've got a better record than Doug Peterson, and I won a Super Bowl too. I got the best record as a head coach of anybody in the world besides John Madden.
But it's a very simple
You don't
thing.
know anything about what's going on. I know how to win games.
Yeah, well, your roster is elite, Nick. Sometimes you just got to keep your foot on the pedal and finish teams. This is the NFL. They're professionals too. Like, they're going to have a chance to come back in this game. Stop being so risk adverse. Like, just take a shot. You have elite players on this offense. Throw the ball up to A.J. Brown, and who cares if it's a 50-50 ball? Let him go make a play. Stop this coward stuff. Like, just play to win. You play to win the game.
Raverma, 30. NFC East, still probably a lock, no doubt. Just try weird stuff on offense the next 4 games and see what works. The team isn't good at run or pass or RPO at the moment. I kind of like that.
I like that. Let's try it. Let's get weird.
They got a game against the Raiders coming up. They got 2 games against the Commanders. Let's get weird.
There is some bad teams coming up here.
You want to talk just like general, playoff race stuff. Obviously, you want to root against the Rams, who are, I believe, winning right now against the Bucks, because now
Bucks
they're
kinda
a
fell
half
apart
game
a little
ahead.
bit, huh?
But if the Eagles take care of business, they will have a very good chance to be the 1 seed still.
Is the Bears the toughest remaining game left?
I feel like at LA is probably harder than home against the Bears.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Could be wrong.
Yeah,
But Bears are playing well.
they are.
We're gonna get swept by all city teams if the Bears win that game, right?
Yeah. Oh no.
I guess no game against the Cardinals.
But I mean, they're not serious.
Well, that's for sure.
But yeah, that's not good for the group slack.
Yeah.
I believe our GM Todd made a bet with the Dallas GM. I think he has to wear a DLLS shirt this week, which is pretty gross.
That's the worst. I
Yeah.
feel like we could have raised the stakes on that
Yeah.
bad boy.
Yeah, that's gonna be rough.
Make him have a social post or something like that.
Yeah, social post is worse.
Sean Wolford says, and I think Toth stinks, but you can't continue to allow Juergens to play like this.
Juergens is not the same.
Yeah, he is clearly very banged up. Landon Dickerson is clearly not the same. He's been playing better lately than he did early in the season, but I didn't think he was. I thought he was getting beat up a little bit in this game. Yeah, individually, beyond just the sum of their parts, as we would expect, a bunch of the guys who are supposed to be elite are not at that level right now, and I think it's in large part because they're banged up.
Yeah.
Devin Stepp, I would never stoop to AI outsourcing. I'm offended. Thank you, Devin. I need to send you a super chat because you know that we are either in this together as a human race or we are not. So thank you. Wawa Slams. I think KP is pissed too. His pants covered in it. Haha. Cash Squatch. Any chance of re-signing to Kobe Dean? He is so sick.
He is really, really good. And this is going to be a tough decision for the Eagles.
And you know what? In the first half of this game, Zach Bond was all over the place. He was like just destroying the Cowboys. And then you're right, that drop pick.
That
that's
pick,
gonna haunt
man.
him. That's a brutal one.
Oh,
Right in his
Vinny,
hands.
when that happens as a player, like, everybody's a human, right? Like, Zach Bond's going to be on that flight just like fist clenching that if I
get
just
no
caught
sleep
them.
tonight.
Yeah,
thinking
that's
about
a
that.
tough one. There's a lot of guys who individually
Especially how well he was playing. That would have just been
Yeah.
like a
gonna have a
little
tough
icing
time
on the
sleeping
cake.
tonight. Saquon,
Saquon doesn't fumble like very often.
that was his first of the season. He had more last year.
Yeah, he had
Um,
more last year.
I guess he had touched the ball more last year too. But
That's
that was a
tough.
bad one.
Yeah.
I mean, Xavier Gibson might not be sleeping
Well,
unless it's with the fishes.
I can't believe Fran said, "Oh,
he's going to be on LinkedIn tomorrow.
he must have
tough.
pissed Fran off."
I know from Fran. That is
But I
tough from
forgot,
Fran.
to Fran's point, I forgot that he was a Jets disaster on special teams.
Well, I think it was a.
This is
fumble.
why you don't take Jets. No offense, Vinny. You went there after you were already an Eagle. This is why you don't take Jets in. All right.
Got my pen.
Yeah.
Fell off. Pzoidus. Jalen prioritizes protecting the ball already. The timid play calling is overkill. When will they realize a 3-and-out is just a delayed turnover? Pzoidus, a goddamn man. Absolutely right. If you are coaching the quarterback to protect the ball, you don't need to also call plays that protect the ball. He's exactly right.
He's your last line of defense.
It's built into the
Yes.
play call that he's going to try to be safe with the ball.
You will actually have to go the opposite way
Yes.
and force him to take chances.
Right. And yeah, a 3-and-out is not some kind of minor victory because you didn't turn the ball over.
No.
Give me a break. Absolutely right. Andrew O'Rourke. Very smart commenters, super chatters.
Yeah, anger's bringing it out of
The
them.
super
Clarity.
chatters are doing just yeoman's work.
Super
Fantastic.
chat.
Andrew O'Rourke. This team left its good vibes at the White House.
Oh. That's pretty funny.
Like I said, the super chatters are doing a great job tonight.
Going off tonight.
Sam Reed. How does Siri grade his... I guess this is Sirianni, not Siri. How does Sirianni grade his OC's performance? Because that was the accumulation of a number of poor games. Someone needs to challenge that.
They could talk about it on that long-ass plane ride home.
Yeah.
What's the hierarchy? Like, how does it go in first class? Is it Lori and Dom, and then Howie, and then the coaches? Like, what's the layout here? What are we looking at? I need a mental picture of the anger happening up there.
This is what y'all get. So say you in your seat right here. Go like this. You know what I mean? So usually I sit right here. JP sit where he's sitting at. I tap him. I'm like, what's going on? After the loss, everybody like this.
Mm-hmm. Peeking up to see, yeah.
But most likely, the players are going to be watching the game on the way back on the iPad. And that's when you go, damn. You know what I mean? Because it's like players you wish you could have back. But there's some players that's not going to watch that because they don't want to relive that on that plane ride.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Were you a consumer or a forget that, flush it type of guy?
I don't know. I was a consumer.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. A super consumer. Because the guy who sat behind me, he breathing all hard, and mad about something. Big grumpy. Like, so Fletch, what, man? Like, he going over something, so... Yeah.
That's a good Fletch.
Hey, that was a good one, though.
Your Fletch is almost as good as his goat.
Yeah. Pissed off about something, man. Because, like, let's say he one of the smartest football players to ever play. Dude, like a quarterback at D-tackle, bro. He is crazy. If something break, he know what happened. That he'd be like,
right.
What you doing? Like stuff like that. Yeah.
Hey, Grumpy Fletch. I don't know if that sounds like him.
It's PG-13, bro. Grumpy Fletch be saying 1,000 cuss words.
E. Roses says, still shocked Howie and Jeff let Sirianni hire Patullo and allow his conservative offensive echo chamber to fester. This offense is on them. I mean, again, you guys are on fire tonight. Really fantastic. We need to just turn the cameras around to the super chatters. Joe Sandoval. We will be fine. This is the golden era. Go Birds.
I mean, I'm more where he is than the other side, which is this is the beginning of the end, and like you have some putrid teams coming in. This offense can get into gear easily the remainder of the year.
I think think about it this way.
And the defense we all believe in, right? So that's your baseline.
For a team as talented as this one is, coming off having won the Super Bowl, what would constitute success for you this season?
I mean, at least winning one game in the playoffs.
Okay.
I think an NFC championship is a home run. And if you get the 1 seed, this is where...
A home run.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I mean, I think this is where getting the 1 seed is imperative. Because the NFC is tougher than the AFC this year. And if you can get yourself a bye with one win away from hosting an NFC championship game, I mean, it's not inconceivable to think you could play in the big stage again. So, like, to me, the key here is getting the 1 seed. If you get the 1 seed, I think it's a success.
To me, the stakes of the season are get to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
That's what the goal should be.
Right.
Sure.
Obviously, you win the Super Bowl is the goal. But get to the Super Bowl is the goal. And so if those are the stakes, this game, on the one hand, is brutal because it really hurts your chances of getting the 1 seed.
Yeah.
And I think it will be difficult for this team to get to the Super Bowl if they don't have the 1 seed.
Completely agree.
The Rams are playing very well. They're only up a game right now, and any tiebreaker will go to the Eagles. But if you're thinking of how is this team going to play like a team that deserves to be in the Super Bowl, maybe how can they get to a better level than they've shown while still being 8-2 and now 8-3? I think there is a chance that this game leads them to that.
Right.
It sort of smacks the stupid out of them in terms of their general approach on offense. Maybe it gets them a little bit nastier on defense, tells the pass rush they can't take any games off, I think that's possible. We'll see what the injury ramifications are, because that's going to be a big deal. But
Yeah.
if you're just thinking, how can we get this team to the Super Bowl? I think this game could end up being a step back for an eventual step forward.
Right. I think the Eagles are at their best when everything's on the line anyways. My personal.
Yeah.
And when everything is on the line and they feel like everything is shaking, I think they're at their best.
Like, I just feel like Black Friday, short week, at home. My gut right now is they answer the bell. And the Bears are a tough team. And I think right now my reaction is they're going to beat them. And if they beat them, then you have the stinking Raiders. You have the Commanders twice. Like, you can end this season on a high note with some offensive kind of juice behind you. And this defense is legit. I mean, the Makuba injury could change some things. And Lane Johnson's going to return. So, like, there is the optimistic outlook for the remainder of this season still.
All right. Let's take a quick break. On the other side, we will be joined from Arlington, Texas, by the great Eagles insider E.J. Smith, coming up just after this break. So the other day, I'm sorry to say, I did go over to Xavier Gibson's house, and he's all excited to watch the game, and we get there, and the setup, total mess. Lagging, buffering, switching between apps, trying to find the game. Claimed he was a big fan. Felt like I was fan-fished. Now, if you call yourself a football fan, you've got to call Xfinity. It's the ultimate sports destination. You can find the best games and your favorite teams all in one place, and the way that you watch is next level. The perfect fan flex. You get all the action right in your living room, plus Xfinity's best picture and sound with enhanced 4K. So clear it feels like you're in the stadium. Sometimes you can get 4 games going at once, because why not? On top of that, real-time notifications, live stats right on your TV. It is the best seat in the house every time. So next game day, make sure that big fan isn't a big fail. Learn more at Xfinity.com. Xfinity, imagine that. Restrictions apply. Multi-view requires Xfinity 4K capable TV box.
Hey, Birds fans, you know who's playing championship level Black Friday deals every single day? That's our friends over at Elkin Chevrolet, located right on. Now, are you guys route or route people? I'm a route.
Route
or route?
Route.
Well, they're right there on Route 73.
I say route sometimes, but anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, Route 73 right there in South Marlton, New Jersey. It's run by 3 brothers, Jason, Adam, and Josh, and these guys are in the store every single day, making sure they have a huge lineup of Chevys at the best price, providing a honkin' good service. No fumbles, no fielding punts on the 1-yard line, just real brothers running a local business and backing every Black Friday sales deal like it's the championship game. So if you're in the market for a new Chevy, make your next move at Elkin Chevrolet. They're going to go for it on 4th and 2, I'm telling you. Real brothers, real deals, and a whole lot of honkin' good service. Shop now at elkinchevrolet.com. Together, let's drive.
Route 76, dig route.
Yes.
That's how I would say it.
But I think
route for the road, route for the football, for the wide
shift.
receiver.
Sometimes I say route, sometimes I say route.
Yeah, I go back and forth too.
Yeah, I don't think I have a constant.
Because, where I'm from, we say Route 66.
Yeah.
And then where we're from, we say we on, I guess we say route.
I go back and forth. I'm a shapeshifter.
Route 76, I'm on Route 76.
But sometimes a route will come out.
9.
Go run an out route.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
You can say go run an out route.
no, never. But route.
I wonder what EJ thinks about that.
Let's find out. We go to the Xfinity Mobile call-in line right now, our guest line, to bring in E.J. Smith.
What a
live
backdrop.
from AT&T Stadium. What route will you be taking home?
I mean, Bo, as your co-host, I got to keep you accountable. Nobody says dig route. That's not what it's called. You're not special for uncovering that. Go run an out route. Come on, man. Come on.
I'm not saying that to puff my chest out. I'm saying I think those are the two differences.
Yes, obviously. I don't.
All right, that'll do it for EJ Smith live from AT&T Stadium. We'll see you on the show Tuesday.
No, I actually am special because I don't say route or route. It's just 76. It's just 113.
No, who's puffing their chest out now?
Ooh.
All right,
Yeah, big
let's get
flex.
to your notebook. Let's get to your notebook, EJ. What do you got for us?
All right, yeah, let's go straight to the notebook here. So, for starters, the thing that I heard most in the Eagles locker room was the term self-inflicted wounds. Every player I talked to mentioned the fact that a season-high 14 penalties today was really the thing, especially on offense, that kept them from being able to sustain drives. Jordan Mailata talked about it. A.J. Brown talked about it. Jalen Hurts talked about it. Nick Sirianni talked about it. It really was a common or constant theme in the Eagles locker room, talking about the fact that they did not master the things that require no talent. Next, we've got the five-man fronts that the Eagles offensive line referenced consistently. We heard from Landon Dickerson about it. He said they didn't have much time on task against the Cowboys, or what the Cowboys ended up doing in this game. The Cowboys hadn't used many odd fronts, earlier in the season, but they did a lot of five-man fronts to combat the Eagles' run game tonight. And again, it was something that they weren't really prepared for, and was a big reason why they didn't get the run game going. And then just really quick injury updates. We saw Andrew Makuba in a walking boot in the locker room after the game, and we saw Xavier Gibson in a sling. Reed Blankenship, we did see him in the locker room. I didn't notice anything. I think he had like a towel around his leg, but I didn't see anything else for him. So those are just a couple of things from the Eagles locker room. I'm excited to talk about some of them with you guys.
All right, let's get to just sort of the general vibe from the team after a loss like that, where you give up a 21-point lead. It's fairly described as a collapse. How do they handle it?
Yeah, it was interesting. I thought that Jalen Hurts' post-game presence in the locker room, and then what he said afterward, was noteworthy. He talked about the fact that this team has been here before, and that he is looking forward to and confident about the response that they will have to this game. The thing I noticed is that usually when we get in there, right when the locker room opens up, you don't typically see Jalen Hurts still in his locker. And this game, we got in the locker room. He's still sitting in his locker with his pads on, talking to Devontae Smith. And, while we were doing interviews, I noticed that he kind of went over to the defensive side of the locker room and talked to a few players. Seemed like he was trying to try and convey that message that, he's confident about this team's ability to respond to a loss like this.
That's my quarterback.
Yeah, that's interesting. Well, especially given the reports about maybe he's not tight with everybody on the team. I think that's interesting color.
Yeah, no, I think that losses seem to always bring out a different side of Jalen, in my opinion. He's usually, sometimes not necessarily tonight, but there have been examples where I feel like he uses the post-game press conference almost like as a therapy session. If they lost the game, he can kind of process some things and really be more open than he usually is. But I really did take note of the way he was in the locker room tonight. I thought it was, I'm not saying we've never seen him do that, but at least this season, I can't really recall a time where he was going around to players during the open portion of the locker room where we're in there and we can see that.
So from the self-inflicted wounds standpoint, do they have an explanation for the penalties? And did you talk to any of the guys who committed any of the particularly egregious mistakes during the game?
Yeah, so I'm trying to think of who those guys. Xavier Gibson obviously didn't talk. We didn't. I wouldn't say we got a lot of accountability for some of the mistakes, but Nick Sirianni did say he takes accountability for the fact that they did have that many mistakes. He said that starts with coaching. Jalen Hurts said it was a lack of focus. He said especially with the pre-snap things, it's an attention to detail thing. It's a lack of focus. I'm curious if you guys have figured out who is the wide receiver that covered up Matt Pryor. Was that AJ Brown? AJ Brown said it was not him, but I'm not sure who it actually ended up being. Who was covering him on that?
We didn't see. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Broadcasting did a very good job.
Yeah, it's not surprising, right?
Okay. So who else did you talk to?
We heard from Jordan Mailata. Like I said,
Yeah, I'm with it.
I don't know.
I know that this is a pet peeve of Deniz's, but
yeah.
I'm sorry. It's been 11 games now, and we keep hearing about unscouted looks. I'm sorry. Yeah. That can't be the excuse every time. That is part of the game. You're going to get unscouted looks. It's like saying, "Oh, they ran fast." Okay, deal with it.
Yeah, like Landon talked about how that was like the flavor of the week that the Cowboys had, but I think the Cowboys personnel changes have kind of informed the fact that they're going with a more defensive tackle heavy front, and especially against the Eagles. I mean, like you heard Saquon Barkley say before the game that if you play the Eagles and you don't try to prioritize stopping the run, then what did he say? You should be fired, is what Saquon said early going into the week. So I think that they understand that they're going to get different looks to try and combat the run. And yeah, I don't think it's necessarily an excuse, but Landon did say they didn't get a lot of time on task this week going against those 5-man fronts. And I think it was a big reason why. I mean, the Cowboys, we talked about it before the game. The Cowboys run defense was one of the worst in the NFL. And the fact that Saquon Barkley averaged, I think it was 2.2 yards per carry tonight. I mean, that's just, it's one of the biggest surprises of the game.
Okay, how about the sack at the end of the game? Did the guys on the offensive line talk about what happened on that play where Jalen takes the sack at 3rd and 2, the only sack he took all game long?
Yeah, Landon acted like he couldn't remember the sack, and Jalen just said that he was hoping to will his way out of the sack. He said that he kind of backed himself to be able to get out of it and make a play. So that was the explanation that we got after the game. Sorry, I know that some of these
I don't remember, and I
mean,
tried to get out of the sack. Those are good explanations. Yeah.
Yeah, I tried. I tried to break free.
Landon said he doesn't remember.
Yeah, he said I think that the way it was framed to him is he said he didn't remember, and then they said it was a long time you had to protect back there, and he didn't have much on it. I know it's been a while since I've had to like come here and like sometimes you don't get the answers that everybody wants from the locker room despite your best efforts.
Sure.
It's not always easy to get the answers out of these guys, especially you get a lot of like you had to watch the tape. That was a big one from Dallas Goedert. Nick Sirianni did say, I thought this was noteworthy, that he said that he didn't feel like they took their foot off the gas. It was more about the self-inflicted wounds. I mean, I really do feel like we've seen this from the Eagles offense all season, where they get into a position where they feel like they just have to avoid making mistakes. They have to limit mistakes. And yeah, I think it cost them tonight. I think like they still want to feel they want to be last year's team where they can just salt away the clock and run the football. And especially against these 5-man fronts that they alluded to, it's obvious that they needed to throw the Cowboys out of those looks. They did it early in the game and it worked. And obviously they went away from it. And I think it really cost them. They've played in these games all season, these close games, and they've invited more variance with the way that they've approached second halves. And I think it caught up to them tonight.
EJ, what the hell was Xavier Gipson thinking?
I couldn't tell you. I know that the reason that he was cut by the Jets, I think, was because he had ball security issues.
Yes, absolutely. I think Aaron Glenn actually had some outrageous comments about how bad of a job he did.
Yeah, and his last game with the Jets before he was cut, he had a fumble. So I do think that this is part of the track record with him. And yeah, I mean, I don't want to pile on the guy because, obviously he was in a sling after the game. I know he's probably got some crazy people in his mentions right now. But yeah, I mean, it's an inexcusable mistake. It really, I mean, there were a lot of things that swung the game, but that really did swing the game. Just from a field position standpoint, you start to think about some of the ramifications. Obviously, the Cowboys didn't score on that. But it just kind of changed the complexion and the momentum of the game.
The quote from Aaron Glenn: "You will not be on the field with this team if you're going to cause us to lose games."
Sure, Fran there right there.
Bye.
Did Fran go off on Xavier Gipson?
Fran said, "Cut him tomorrow."
Oh wow, I'm gonna have to go back and watch that.
Yeah, I'm usually the hoagie mouth leading those charges.
Well, if you're telling us he's in a sling, he's just gonna go on IR. And that.
I felt for the guy. I mean, watching him try to get to the medical tent, I did feel for the guy. Like he was going through he was in a lot of pain. We heard from Saquon Barkley, and he mentioned he was really hard on himself. Talked about how he was pressing, or said that he feels like it's on him that the run game hasn't gotten going. Obviously, I think it is much bigger than that. But I think he was asked do you feel like you're the same player? He said he does, and that he said he's in a funk. He said he's been in funks like this before. But yeah, no, I mean, it's really the first we've seen him deal with something like that with the Eagles.
EJ, I know, they don't always know injury updates, but Reed Blankenship, Makuba in the walking boot, any sense of severity there or not really?
Yeah, it's hard to know right now, but I know that the Makuba one didn't look good, and I know that obviously in the boot after the game with crutches, definitely not a good sign. But yeah, we'll definitely get more information on that in the next couple of days, I imagine. But yeah, I mean, it'd be a huge deal with both of those guys dealing with stuff. I really think that was the thing with the Eagles defense. I don't know how concerned you are with the defense, Bo, but I think the injuries in the secondary are really the story there.
I think so too. However, I don't know about you, but I mean, the pass rush tonight was pretty disappointing.
Yeah.
1 sack, and it's from Nakobe Dean. Jalen Phillips didn't record a single statistic in this game. Jalen Carter played a ton and was active early, but I didn't see the pass rush really affecting Dak Prescott tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you've seen that with the Cowboys. They get usually Dak Prescott gets the ball out quickly, and that they have a good offensive front. But no, I agree. I mean, we've seen what it looks like when the pass rush can take over games, especially the last 2 weeks. And really, I mean, that is the difference. Some of those explosive shot plays, like you do need to start to wonder, like, where's the rush coming from? So that's a good point. But I overall didn't think that this was a concerning performance from the defense. I am concerned about the Eagles' run game. I'll be honest. Like, that's the one thing from this game. Like, even the penalties, like, it's not great, but it's not something I think is going to be like a lasting thing. But I don't know. The way that the Eagles have not been able to run the ball and the way that teams are committing to it and they can't make them pay for it, I just think that is one of the bigger things. And it's one of the biggest surprises, honestly, of the year for me at this point. Like, I really thought this would be a game where the Eagles could just impose their will on the ground, especially once they got out to a lead. And the fact that they didn't, I think, is really the story here.
I think the run game is like dead. I don't think you can count on it as well. Like, I don't mean to be like
Bigsby 8 yards of carry. That's give him the ball.
Like, I don't mean to be like
on what, 1 carry.
Yeah,
you have to be a passing team.
Yeah.
Like with this offensive, the elephant in the room is the offensive line is not good this year. They're average.
Yeah,
like at best.
and they were a passing team on those first 3 drives. And like the thing that stands out to me is that they got into a rhythm. It was clear. They got Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown. They got those guys in rhythm. And then when they turned to them late in the game, when they needed to turn it back on, it was clear they were out of sync. And it looked a lot more like it has for most of the season. So I don't know. I mean, I think there's a lot of volatility and a lot of variance in them being a rhythm passing offense and them trying to be that every single week. I think they'll have weeks where it looks ugly. They'll have weeks where it looks like the Packers game. But I don't know. I think that I think that there was still belief that that run game was somewhere for them. They could still access what they did last year in the run game.
It's over.
And I mean, if you can't do it against the worst team in terms of success rate against the run, with a 3 possession lead, I just feel like you have to start to reevaluate the way you're going to do things on offense.
Yeah,
I think that's right. Yeah. All right, AJ, what are you going to be writing on allphly.com for the diehards who can subscribe?
I'm going to be trying to make sense of this collapse. The Cowboys have only had 21-point comebacks 3 times in their history, and it hasn't happened since 2014. So, it ties a franchise record for biggest comeback.
Gross.
I think we just need to make sense of how they got there. And I think it is multifaceted, a lot of the stuff that we talked about here. So, I'm excited to get up to the press box. I'm not going to partake in the press box beer. It's not really my thing, but, I guess I appreciate that they have it out.
What kind of beer?
I think it's Miller Lite, and I don't know the other one. Like I said, I'm more of like a Diet Dr. Pepper after the game kind of guy, something to keep me awake.
Eagles scored touchdowns on their first 3 possessions in this game. Last time they scored touchdowns on 3 straight possessions, the first 3 possessions of the game against the Cowboys in week 1.
Okay. Good stat. And then the same thing happened last time too.
Almost the exact same thing happened. So
yeah,
doesn't necessarily lead to a victory. All right, AJ. Good luck tonight. Hopefully somebody's driving you home from the press box because we know you're going to down all those beers.
All right, EJ.
Definitely not. Diet Dr. Pepper.
We will see you on the PHLY Eagles show on Tuesday at 2:00. We'll miss you tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll be watching on Monday though. Maybe I'll pop up in the chat if I can get in the air. If I can get Wi-Fi on the airplane, I'll try and pop up in the chat.
All right, sounds good. Thank you, EJ. Our Eagles Insider on the Xfinity Mobile call-in line. All right.
Somebody in the chat said Shinerbach. You ever have those? They're not bad.
I used to like a Shinerbach in college. Yeah.
Yeah, Texas is I think big on those.
Yeah.
Yeah, solid beer.
Yeah, I don't mind a Shinerbach. Yeah. My El Paso experiences. Shout out to not El Paso. What's it called? Fort Worth is diehard Ed, who we went out when he ordered Dos Equis, but he said, "Give me a dose." It calls it a dose. It's just straight a dose.
Nice.
Yeah.
Dallas is a road trip. What were your thoughts on Dallas Fort Worth? Let's pour on the city.
I like Fort Worth, actually.
Yeah? Dallas, I think, is so...
I don't need to ever step foot in Dallas.
Dallas is awful.
Yeah. I don't never need to go to Dallas.
Yeah, Fort Worth's all right.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
But Dallas is pretty bad. Not a road
Also,
trip
the
I
team
would
doesn't
circle.
play in Dallas.
Yeah, they play in a bunch of strip malls out in the middle of like a
In
dust
Arlington.
field.
Yeah.
It's very weird.
All right, we got to get to a couple more super chats before we head out here on the PHLY Eagles post-game show.
By the way, the Bucks scored to make it 21-7. So.
Well, no team's ever come back from a 21-0
Never.
deficit, as we know. So we'll see how that goes. Markel, assuming Kevin Patullo is gone, which offensive coordinator candidates are realistic for the Eagles? Dable, Deshaun, Kafka, McCown, someone else. KP and Brian Johnson in a mask. I mean, I'll tell you what. No Mike Kafka. That's how I feel.
I got to get this real story one day.
Deshaun, that would be interesting.
That would be really funny.
I don't see that happening yet.
Delaware State had a good year.
Yeah.
Great, yeah.
JP Fabo, Jamie, we are going to be okay.
I'm trying to keep the positive thoughts going here because the anger is gone now. Now it's looking forward. I don't think the sky is falling. I don't think this team is going to fall apart.
Rams just scored on the touchdown, so now it's 28-7.
Oh, great. Good job, Bucks.
That's a team continuing to play offense.
Yeah.
Real Prince Blue, I think going back to the animal noises, says, where is the string for the Jamie See and Say?
Yeah, you got to pay to find out.
Fresh Prince, Nick will spin the end of the half play call, and they were aggressive because they didn't take a knee. Yeah, they just handed the ball off, and they took one handoff. Yeah, if that gets us 15 yards, we'll see what happens. Come on. Brian Backer, you know what they say about running a prevent offense. Did you prevent offense? Julian Subers.
That's a good point.
Hurts had a great first quarter, but am I the only one who is curious to see what the offense would look like with Tanner McKee at the helm? There's the spicy take we've been waiting for in the Super Chats. What do you think, Vinny?
Super Bowl MVP, man. I ain't getting into that.
Scott Galupo says, Sirianni is painful to listen to. I don't care what his winning percentage is. He is a middle school TED Talk.
Les had a funny tweet.
Scotty G.
About Sirianni. He said he can get up there and give the mush mouth press conference speak all he wants, but he's got to talk to Lori and Howie on that flight. And I'm assuming they want more.
Can you do it in a less voice, though?
Oh.
I don't think I have Les in the bag yet. I never practiced it.
So what did he say? Let me see if I can do it.
Let me see if I can pull it up. Sirianni can't give us the mush mouth answers, but he also has to face Lori and Roseman. I think they might want something more substantial.
Mm-hmm. Sirianni can't. That sounded like
I want to hear it. Keep going. We love you, Les.
Oh, man.
And then finally, Idiot Sandwich says, Zach Berman drank all the brewskis in the press box. That I believe.
I believe Lindsay also put a poll up in the chat, Bo.
Oh.
A little poll action in the chat.
Okay.
Are you a route or a route person? Route.
But yeah, we're talking about the road here.
Yes.
Okay. And people are saying route. 73.7% of respondents say route.
Yeah. It would never be a wide receiver route.
Right.
It's specific to the road.
Okay.
And I shapeshift. I don't have an answer.
I mean, I'm going about like the song Route 66.
It is
a route.
But I think it's route.
There is no is. Beauty's in the eye of the beholder.
Yeah. And the conversation and the flows. Like, your anger, It's you Jersey people, man.
Listen.
You're big root people.
Listen.
Your jug handles and your roots and routes. It's wild over
It's
there.
almost like we supposed to be country. It's almost like we supposed to be country.
Oh, Jersey? Yeah. Yeah, I guess you're right. All right. Well, the Eagles blew today. A 21-point lead. And we've got 5 days before we get to see them play again. So a quick turnaround before they play the Chicago Bears at 3 o'clock at the Link on Friday, on Black Friday.
I think I'm gonna bring Noah to that game.
Oh yeah,
I think so.
Nice.
I like that.
What's a just gut reaction to Friday right now after that loss, fresh on the heels?
It's gonna be a great win.
I think so too.
I think they win by 3 scores.
I kind of feel it too. Like I feel like the offense could come out and look. Now the Bears, like I think they lead the league in turnovers. They're up there. So this might be a game.
CJ GJ somebody gets in a fight with CJ GJ. That's what happens.
Ooh, that would be spicy.
Oh, yeah, that's gonna be crazy.
But I feel good. I think the offense is going to come out on Friday. This was the cold water smack across the face that Nick needs. Maybe he'll shave his head again. Come out, and I think the
Probably
Waters
a cool
will be
story.
Baldiani.
Yeah.
Let's bring him back.
Worked once before.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for joining us here on the PHLY Eagles postgame show. Thanks to all of you for bringing the heat in the Super Chats. Thank you to EJ Smith and Fran Duffy for joining us. Thank you to Lindsay and Ethan behind the scenes.
Oh, and real quick, if anybody's able to come by Reading Terminal Market on Wednesday for a little holiday gathering, festivities, get your pie, get your meats, get your cheeses, all the good stuff you need for Thanksgiving dinner. We're going to be broadcasting all day there, morning through the afternoon. Stop on by, back in the back corner by Molly Malloy's.
One of the best days of the year.
Yeah, I love it. I have 2 buddies meet me every year there. I take the train in. I'll be throwing back pints. I love it. It's the start of the holiday season.
Couple Shiner box.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Come join us. Come say hi.
Yeah, but stop by. Say hello. Come grab lunch.
All right. That'll do it for this episode of the PHLY Eagles postgame show. Remember, back tomorrow, 2 o'clock, Fran and the Professor breaking down this game. We've got Unblocked with Brandon Graham coming up this week. Tuesday, Wednesday, Eagles shows. Enjoy your Thanksgiving, all that good stuff. We will talk to you on Friday on the postgame show. So for Vinny and Jamie and all of us here at PHLY, we thank you for listening. And as always, we love you.
We all silly like the mayor.